What is up, you guys? It is Mike here, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my Dark Magician deck profile post the 2020 Megatins for the October 2020 format. So yeah, guys, sorry I didn't get this video out to you here a lot sooner after the release of the 2020 Megatins. I just was, obviously really busy, caught up with a lot of things, and I have not really gotten the time I needed to just sit down and just do a deck profile for you. But I'm back now, and I just wanted to get this out to you guys because it's long overdue. And since I already did a Red Ice deck profile on the channel, which I will probably leave a link to maybe in the description or something, or if I don't, you could definitely check it out on the channel. I will be also doing my Blue Eyes deck profile pretty soon, so be sure to be subscribed to the channel to be notified when that does drop on the channel, obviously. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys this deck profile because it's long overdue, and this is something that I just felt like updating after the 2020 Megatins came out, because obviously they did get a lot of great support in that set, mainly with Dragoon and the other like 3 promo cards. Well, they're not really promo cards, but still like direct support to them. I'm not playing all of those in this deck. I'm only playing one of them, and I will show you what that is later on. But I just wanted to update that for you guys and show you what I've changed in this deck. Now, I do want you guys to keep in mind, as a quick disclaimer before we start, this is a mixed deck, so I am playing with a few proxies here. I'm also playing TCG and OCG cards in this deck, and some of these might look a bit fake to you, but they're not super fake. They're not totally obvious. Some are more than others, but for the most part, this is a mixed deck. And this is also going to be a budget build, so I'm not playing cards like Magician Souls, or I'm not playing Dragoon in this deck. As you guys can probably tell from the top, it's not Dragoon, which if it was, I would love to just put this on the top. But no, this is not an expensive build. This is just going to be a standard build off a budget that I came up with, because I obviously cannot afford a lot of the really big chase cards to make this deck as it can be. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's what's going to be happening in this profile. If you don't mind any of that happening, we're just going to go ahead and jump into it now. So yeah, guys, this is obviously going to be a 40-card main deck, just like usual. And we're obviously going to be starting off with the boss monster of the deck, Triple Dark Magician. So yeah, out of all of these, this is the only one that's real to the very left. But obviously, this is your boss monster here. You're going to want to summon it multiple times. You're going to be sending it to the grave. You're going to be summoning it back and forth. Like, that's just obviously the win con of the deck. And I will also be doing a combo tutorial for you guys with all these 3 decks, like I mentioned, for Dark Magician, Red Ice, and Blue Eyes. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel when that happens. But yeah, this is just your main win con of the deck. You're going to be summoning him. You're going to be discarding him. You're going to be doing a lot of different things with him, so there's no reason to play less than 3 copies in this deck. And then for our normal summon of the deck, I'm playing 3 Magician's Rod. So this is pretty self-explanatory. You normal summon him, get a Dark Magician spell or trap to your hand. You either get a Circle off of this or Eternal Soul, or if you already have them in your hand, you'll be searching off everything else. And it's graveyard effect to add it back to your hand by attributing a spellcaster when you activate a spell or trap during your opponent's turn. It does sometimes come up, but not as often as you would expect for it to happen. But it is still relevant every now and then. Some people don't think it's super relevant, but it can be extremely helpful when you're going into the grind game and your opponent disrupts you and breaks your board multiple times. This can help you ensure that, as long as you have ways to resolve its effect, can help you recover fairly well. So there's no reason to play less than 3 in this deck. And then for our other normal summon of the deck, I'm going to be playing here 3 Keeper of Dragon Magic. So if you guys don't know, when you normal special summon him, you discard a card for the cost, and then you either add a Polymerization to your hand, or you add a card that has a fusion normal spell from your deck to your hand. And it also has the other effect where you can reveal a monster in your extra deck, then special summon one of the fusion materials from your deck to the field in face down defense. so that can just for free special summon Dark Magician to your field and face down defense. But I don't really use that effect too much. I usually use this effect to just search off the polymerization I have here, or sometimes the other spell that I have, which I'm going to be getting into later on. But yeah, this is just your other way to keep your plays going and make sure that you have some sort of recovery play if ever you don't draw into a Magician's Rod. And then after this, next, I am actually only playing two Magicians. No, not two Apprentice Illusion Magician. So she's just here because she's a free special summon by discarding card, which surprisingly is not a hard one to return, so do keep that in mind. And she obviously can help you in battle when Dark Spellcaster battles or it gets attacked. Will let you special summon, well, no, will let you tribute itself on the field, or even like, I'm sorry, this is actually 3 copies, but yeah, she'll let you tribute itself on the field, or discard her from your hand to give it 2000 attack. So I kept this at 30 because it's just a free body and it can help you go into some of your other link plays later on when you're going to the grind game to help you make better plays. But other than that, that's why she's here. She's not here much for anything else. And then for our one-ups of the deck, I'm playing 1 Dark Magician Girl and 1 Magician of Dark Illusion. I know a lot of people have cut, sorry about that. I know a lot of people have cut Magician of Dark Illusion from their builds, but since this is more of a budget build, I just kept this here because it's important to have some sort of body to summon on the field, because whether or not you resolve some of your spells and traps, it does feel good to always have a free body on the board to help recover your Dark Magician in other ways, and can also be a lure fodder as well. And Dark Magician Girl is just here just for that synergy with Soul Survey to give you that extra draw, and for you to even be able to resolve the effects of cards like the Dark Magician in your extra deck, to make sure you do have those 2 free bodies on the board for other link plays later on. But other than that, that's why they're here. They're not here much for anything else, and they're not super important. And then for our hand traps of the deck, they're not much. It's just only a few here. I'm playing 2 Nibiru, 2 Ash Blossom, and 2 Effect Veiler. And yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm messing up this profile. I'm just this is just a real tight space here. But other than that, yeah, these are just my hand traps of the deck. I know a lot of people in this current format have kind of cut Ash from their main deck, and even in their side deck as well, because it just does not affect most meta relevant decks right now. But I just felt that, you know, since this is more of a budget deck, I don't really have that many options. I know Cyframe Gear Gamma and Driver are obviously one of the bigger meta calls of this deck, especially because they're lights and stuff, so they have synergy with other meta relevant decks. But other than that, this was just the only other build that I could, no, the only other hand traps that I felt would be effective in this format, especially Effect Veiler, because she's a spellcaster and she has a light, so there is kind of that synergy there. But other than that, that's the only reason why I kept them here. And Effect Veiler is not a hard one to return either, so if you can potentially draw this twice, then you have at least 2 different disruptions during your opponent's turn. But other than that, that's why they're here. And Nibiru is obviously a staple at this point, because I know that some decks can play through it, especially decks like Dragon Link, or because some have recovered really well even after having Nibiru drop on them. And I know Noble Knights can play around them very well because they could just rip it out of your hand. Other than that, these are just the 3 main hand traps that I wanted to go for, because I couldn't come up much with anything else really. And that is it guys for the monsters. Now we'll go ahead and get into the spells. So for your most important spell of the deck, I'm playing 3 Dark Magical Circles. So obviously you activate this, look at the top 3, either add a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician spell or trap from your deck, from the top 3 cards and then organize it to in any order. So that is also kind of important as well, as long as you can make sure that you resolve this last. And obviously its most important effect is that when Dark Magician is normal or special summon, you get to target a card and banish it. I know that's not the most powerful effect in the game right now, especially because it's targeting. But other than that, this is your main disruption. You want to get to this as fast as you can, and that's why you play that through, because it's one of your most important spells of the deck. And to help you get into that spell, I'm playing 3 Soul Servants. So this is also obviously a staple in this deck as well, because if you already draw cards like Circle, Soul Servant can help you stack your deck with whatever you need. Like it can stack your Eternal Soul, Secrets of Dark Magic, or anything else that you might need in that matchup, and can help you also draw a card or draw 2 cards, depending if you have Dark Magician in your grave, or you have Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl in your graveyard. But most of the time, you're only really consistently getting the draw 1 effect, not really the draw 2, unless you can find better ways to get Dark Magician Girl in the grave. Then that draw 2 effect won't come up as much as you think. So that's why I played this at 3, and that's why Dark Magician Girl is here. But other than that, that's all it's really here for. It doesn't do much anything else for a deck. It just helps boost your consistency, basically. And then for our fusion spells of the deck, I'm playing 1 Secrets of Dark Magic, 1 Eye of Timaeus, and the 1 Polymerization. So obviously Secret of Dark Magic is here because it's a quick play. It can help you make the Dark Magicians, also help you make any like dark monster, like even cards like Starving Venom can be made with this, as long as you have like Dark Magician and something else on the field or in your hand, which is good. And Eye of Timaeus is just here at 1 because you don't really need to play multiple copies of it, and you don't really need to resolve this effect this much, because you do have other ways to get into cards like Dark Magician and Dragon Knight in this deck, which obviously you guys can tell is mainly focused on turboing out into with all the like cards I'm playing here. But other than that, that's why it's here. And Polymerization is just here for the same reason, to help you turbo into your fusions first turn, or maybe not first turn, but like yeah, level kind of like first turn, but like, you know, just to make sure you can get that set up right and help ensure that you can get to your fusion spells as quickly as possible. So that's why they're here. And then for our other fusion related spell here, I'm playing 3 Fusion Deployment. So the reason why this is here is obviously because I can't afford Magician Souls, and this card is the only other card that kind of mimics Magician Souls, because for the most part when you resolve Magician Souls, you're not really using it to special summon itself on the field, unless you're playing cards like Dragoon in your field to help get a free body on the board to get like 2 effect monsters on your field with something like Apprentice. But other than that, if you're not really using that effect, Fusion Deployment can almost always get that job done in a similar manner, and can kind of help just, you know, get you set up in that regard, because Fusion Deployment lets you reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck and special summon from your deck in face up one of its fusion materials, and then for the rest of the turn you're gonna be locked into fusion monsters. But if you don't really care about that much, that doesn't really hurt you in the long run, really. And it's just a free way to, it's just a free bonding into Dark Magician on your field. And as long as you have the other like setup made with like Circle and Eternal Soul, then this could help you get more potential vanishes on your field and help you keep your plays going. So that's why it's here. It's not here much for anything else. And then lastly, for our draw spells of the deck, I'm playing 2 Allure, because we are playing a lot of darks, and then the 1 Upstart to just make it a 39 card deck, because I couldn't think much of what else this could be, and this just helps, you know, obviously drawing consistency. And that is it, guys, for these spells. Now we'll go ahead and get into the traps. So for the first trap here, your most important trap, your love and hate of the deck, 3 Eternal Soul. So you obviously activate this. So for summon Dark Magician, you're not using the second effect as much because you're not playing cards like Dark Magic Attack in the main. Unless you're going against a backrow heavy deck, you could argue you could still side Dark Magic Attack to help you just clear more backrow that way. because it's a searchable back row off a Magician's Rod. It's a searchable back row removal spell with cards like Magician's Rod and other things. But other than that, this is your main disruption deck. You get this set of first turn with Dark Magical Circle. That's your ideal board. And then if this blows up, everything else blows up. But with cards like Soul Servant, it is easy to recur them now from the grave and help ensure that you can keep your plays going and make sure you have ways to get Eternal Soul back to the field. But that's why it's here. It's not here much for anything else. I know that other people have cut this down to 2, but I just felt that I had to stick with this at 3 to help see as much as I can and ensure I can get that setup going as much as possible. And then for our last one for our traps here, I'm playing 1 Destined Rivals for that skill drain effect, and 1 of the real skill drain, because since I'm not running cards like Dragoon, I'm now free to just play with this and negate all my monsters face up, all monster effects on the field, and it won't really hurt you as much as long as you can get to your setup very quickly. And it may kind of hurt cards like Rod on the field, so you won't be able to get that surge. But other than that, you won't really care as much about the negation effect from skill drain, because it's not really gonna hurt you as long as you can get your setup going first turn. And as long as that happens, then it won't matter. And paying 1,000 life points obviously doesn't matter with skill drain. So, but that is it, guys, for the main deck. Now we'll go ahead and get into the extra deck here. And for the extra deck, for our Dark Magician fusions, I'm playing 1 Dark Magician Granite Knight to obviously protect your back row and have your back row protect him with Eternal Soul, because it currently sets Dark Magician on the field. And the Dark Magicians, because it's a free draw during your opponent's turn, and if it blows up, you obviously get to special summon Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl from your hand deck and or grave, which is really good because it helps you ensure that you can guarantee that you can get Dark Magician on the field to get more disruptions that way, and help ensure you still get free bodies on the board. And if you can keep them there after this card gets destroyed, then it can just open up a lot more plays and help you further your game state when you go into the grind game. Well, other than that, that's why they're here. You don't really need to max out on them because they're really easy to make in this deck and can be made, quite well. And then for our last fusions of the deck, guys, it's not much. I'm just playing 1 Starving Venom, because 2 Darks, 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, because it's a generic as well, 1 Entis for the Dragma matchup, or the Dogmatica matchup, and then 1 Diplexer Chimera, because not a lot of people talk about him, and it can be somewhat useful in the Cybers matchup when you're going against decks like Gnister, Salamangreat, or anything else that's just Cybers. So I just kept it here just in case, because I do have matches sometimes in my local meta where this can be useful, especially if I'm going against something like Salamangreat. Some people are very surprised I still have cards like this in my deck, so that's why it's still here, and it's still fairly useful every now and then, at least in my local meta. But they'll just depend on you guys, but that can be this can be whatever you want it to be. And that's it for the fusions. Now we'll go ahead and go into the Xyz, which there are not that many of. 1 Ebon Illusion, because it's another way to get a banish on the board. 1 Big Eye, obviously for stealing monsters, and the 1 Red Ice Flare to help you burn your opponent for as much life points as you can, and hopefully help you win in time as well, if you can ensure that you can keep this on your field and win in time. And this card, along with Dragoon, is actually a lot more helpful now, because this can actually be used to special summon Raditz from your grave. So after you use Dragoon, after you use Virtue to go into Dragoon and have like Red Ice in your grave, you can actually now detach a material from Red Ice Flare and actually start being able to special summon Red Ice from your grave. And I'm not sure if this could special summon Dragoon as well, but other than that, it's a free way to get Red Ice on the field, and then maybe have more ways to deal more damage. Other than that, that's why they're here. And this has always been a standard in every Dark Magician build. And then lastly, for our links, not much. Our generic links here: Phoenix for back row, Unicorn for obviously spinning cards, pretty standard. No, don't really need to explain that. And then for our other links here, one named Duck, to have another way to be able to summon cards like Dragoon if you can't get to Keeper of Dragon Magic first turn, because keep in mind, Keeper of Dragon Magic is also a dragon, so this is just another way to help you get another dragon to be able to go into the dragon deck more consistently. One Lynx Fighter to help you get rid of your Dark Magician and potentially have more ways to banish cards off the field as long as you can get Dark Magician into the grave. And then one Celine to be able to special summon more monsters on the field and to potentially help you link climb more into your other really big links. And speaking of our really big links, the last link and the last monster that I'm playing in our extra deck is one Warlord Dragon. Because one, this is a budget build, so I can't afford a board sword here. And two, this is also a really great way to get over cards like Dragoon, because it does not target when it takes a monster, and it just keeps it there for you to be able to abuse its effect as well. Because it doesn't negate it, it just takes it and puts it under one of its arrows, I believe. And it's obviously a bit hard to deal with some decks if you really want to close that game. This could be any generic link for it. This could also be an Ivermax. This could be access code if you can afford it. But other than that, that's why I'm using Boardload, because I really can't afford much of everything else. And that is it, guys, for the deck. That's going to be my Dark Magician deck profile for the October 2020 format. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, this is not the most meta relevant deck right now, and it still has a lot of flaws, even with the new support, that it needs to work on if it wants to even be considered a rogue tier at this point. But other than that, it's a really fun casual strategy for you to play with, and it obviously brings a lot of nostalgia to me, because Dark Magician is obviously my favorite monster if you guys have been following my channel. But other than that, I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely give this video a like if you did, and share it with your friends so that they can, you know, see the profile as well and have more ideas on how they want to make their build. And let me know in the comments below what you guys do want to see next. I do want to get a discussion going here on that. And if you guys do enjoy my content and do want to see more videos like this or anything else in general, then definitely subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss out anytime I upload videos. And that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Cedric45 signing off.